And we're going to get started in a child's pose today. So I make it comfortable. So if you prefer like a wide leg child, you can take a wide leg child's pose. If, I don't even know why I put these in, want knees together, arms outstretched in front of you. We'll just demo really quick. Letting the torso either rest on the thighs, or if you're taking a wider leg version, allowing the torso to drip down between the thighs. Arms come out long down the length of the mat in front of you, and the forehead reaching down toward the earth. Just taking a few moments to breathe here. In this early morning practice, we just starting to develop awareness and wake up the body. So just gently coming into this moment with your mat. And just checking in with the body. So maybe starting with a scan from the first point of contact that you have with the earth. So maybe that's the tops of the feet and the shins. And then maybe from your hands, the palms of the hands, maybe your forearms are touching the mat. And then just kind of coming up the body from that direction. I'm looking for any points of tension in the body, any kind of tightness in the body. Just noticing without judgment how the body feels in this child's pose. And then noticing the breath. So without changing it or doing anything different to your breathing pattern, just checking in with how the breath feels here. So in this child's pose position where our torso is folded in, there's some compression. So maybe noticing if it feels a little different to breathe here. And where the breath lands in the body. So I have a very, what I think is fun practice planned for us this morning. I think that you will be challenged, you will find some challenge and intensity with our practice that we have planned today. So with that, I would like to invite you to use an attitude of playfulness today and being curious and maybe using more of our advanced yoga practice and using one of our more advanced yoga poses, which is this pose of turning the corners of the mouth up into this lovely little smile. So that you're having fun today. We're not taking this serious. It's just fucking yoga and we're gonna have fun. So now start to tap into your Ujjayi breathing, the Ujjayi pranayama, victorious breath. So to do that, you just find a slight constriction in the back of the throat. And then begin breathing in and out through the nose, finding or creating this kind of soft whisper in the back of the throat. It's almost like, sounds like an ocean. Some people refer to it as like a Darth Vader noise. creating a sound on both the inhale and the exhale, this whisper. And then once you have that set, finding a pattern that you can maintain for the duration of class. So maybe that's an equal part inhale and an equal part exhale. Maybe you want to count the breath. Maybe it's a 3-count inhale and a 3-count exhale, or maybe your exhales are longer than your inhales. And it doesn't have to be that technical. So if counting really takes you out of the practice, just trying to find and establish a natural rhythm now. And the reason that we do this is to keep our body, our mind tethered to, keep our mind tethered to the body, keep the mind tethered to this moment on our mats. And so that when we're challenged and the mind starts to chatter and the heart begins to race, we use this breath to ease the mind and ease the heart. And when we find moments of ease in our practice where things are a little bit easier and the mind wants to wander, we use this breath to keep us tethered to that moment, to keep us here. So with the arms outstretched in front of you, we're going to walk the hands off to the left side of the mat, coming into this kind of this side body stretch, and then sink into that right hip and really press in and lean in to this right side. If it feels good to stack your hands, maybe stacking the right hand over left, or maybe even keeping the right hand planted, but then taking the left hand maybe somewhere out behind you to the left and kind of pull you a little bit deeper into this pose. Breathing. Very gently walking back to center. Just taking a pause here. And then on your next exhale, walking the hands over off to the left side of the mat, sinking into that left hip. And then exploring those hand placement options. So maybe stacking the left palm over the right hand. Maybe keeping the left hand planted on the earth. And then exploring reaching behind with the right hand, maybe pulling it a little bit deeper into this pose. And breathe. Very slowly walk your hands back to center. We're going to rise up, coming into tabletop pose. Come onto all fours. And we're going to inhale, reach the right arm to the sky. Really feel that expansion across the chest. And then exhale, thread the needle. Right arm comes under left. We're coming down onto the right shoulder, right cheek. Palm is facing up toward the sky. Checking in with the hips, maybe drawing the left hip if it's kicked out, bringing it a little bit more back into center. So really deepening the sensation of this twist and stretch in the right side body and shoulder. Option for the left hand, you can keep it planted next to the face. You can even reach it up ahead to kind of push you into the stretch a little bit more. Or taking that hand and maybe wrapping it around the low back and tucking it into that right hip crease. Sending the breath into the shoulder. We're going to be doing a lot with the shoulders today. Again, just being curious about what's happening in the body, even now, even as we're starting to warm up, waking up the muscles, waking up the joints. Just being curious about where your body is today. If you took a hand variation, go ahead and plant it next to the face. And then on your next inhale, you're going to counter stretch, reach back up. And then exhale, plant the right hand down to meet the left. And then we'll switch sides. Inhale, reach the left hand to the sky. And really feel, again, that expansion across the chest. Oh, it feels so nice this morning. And then exhale, thread the needle, allow the left arm to come down beneath the right. Coming onto that left shoulder, resting on the left cheek. Checking in with the hips if they've kicked out over to the right, drawing them back into center. Right hand can stay planted down next to the face. We're taking one of those other variations. We're sending the breath into that left shoulder here. Imagining that your breath with each inhale is sending energy and life to your shoulder. Plant the right hand down next to the face if you've taken an arm variation. And then on your next inhale, rise up, reach the left hand to the sky, counter stretch. Oh, it feels good today, guys. Plant that left hand down to meet the right. And we're just going to take some cat-cows here. So following the length of the inhale, drop the belly, tilt the sit bones to the sky, and then pull and reach the heart forward. See if you can make this bend in the upper part of the back. We're pulling the heart forward. And then on your exhale, round the spine, tilt the sit bones down. Bow the head forward, allow the crown of the head to be heavy, maybe tuck the chin into the chest. And then on your next inhale, cow pose. And then the next exhale, cat pose. So just following the rhythm of your breath, your inhales take you into cow, exhales take you into cat. And just taking a couple of rounds here. So again, just waking up the spine. Maybe find some little shifts in the shoulders. Maybe even finding some wiggles in the hips. So any other organic movement in the spine or in your joints, specifically your hips or your shoulders, go ahead and take that here. Something that is calling out to you if your body needs more movement, or even just sticking with those cats in this cow flow. Finding some stillness, and then shifting the hips back, coming into child's pose one more time before we get started into our sun salutations. So just as a reminder, your child's pose is your pose of rest. I often refer to this as your wisdom pose. So using this as an opportunity in your practice when things get frazzled or heated, or the mind is really starting to chatter and the breath has become erratic and you need to pause. Or maybe something comes up for you during practice, or you just need a break and your body just needs rest. And only you know when that is. You are the only person with the wisdom to know what your body needs in your practice. So using this pose at your discretion. When you're ready, go ahead and start to press into those palms, lift the forearms off of the earth, tuck the toes, lift the hips, coming into our first downward facing dog. You go ahead and pedal out your feet, bend and straighten the legs. If you have your own little down dog ritual that you like to take, go ahead and do that here. Just spending a couple more moments, just waking up the body, circulating the blood into the muscles, waking up the joints a little bit here, getting the synovial fluids moving in the joints. But make this slow and easy. especially in our morning practice. We are, just waking up, just getting our day started. So being gentle with the body when we first start getting moving. All right, and checking in with the alignment here. So let's find some stillness. Hands are about shoulder width apart. Index fingers pointing toward the top of the mat. And you're pressing into all 10 fingers. Lifting out of the armpits and allow the triceps to wrap underneath your arms. Sliding the shoulder blades down the back. Lifting the hips to the sky. Draw the navel into the to spine. And then knit your low ribs in. So really firing up and activating the core here. Checking in with the distance of your feet. You want about a fist and a half of distance between your big toes. So it's about hips distance apart. And then finding a slight or maybe even a deep bend in the knees. But your heels are reaching down toward the earth. No bonus points if the heels touch the earth. When you're ready, bend the knees, gaze forward. We're going to walk or step to the top of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, spine is long, palms come to shins, reaching out through the crown of the head, tilting those sit bones to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, we're going to rise up one vertebrae at a time, slowly roll up, knee in mountain pose. Head comes up last, arms come down to the side, fingertips are reaching down, spreading it through all 10 fingers, reaching down toward the earth. Pause, close the eyes. And again, I invite you now to tap into that spirit of playfulness, that attitude of playfulness, because we're going to have some fun this morning. We're going to get heated. I don't know about you guys, but it's like 40 degrees here and I'm freezing, so we need something heated, right? All right. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky, hands to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Slight bend in the knees, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank pose. We're going to come down onto our forearms, coming into forearm plank. So now an option here in this forearm plank, you can actually release your knees down to the earth. This actually makes this a little bit more supportive and accessible, but we're going to hold this plank pose for a few rounds of breath. So we want shoulders, let's check in with alignment today. This will be really important. We'll be doing a lot of these forearm planks and a lot of stuff on our forearms and in our shoulders today. So shoulders are stacked over elbows and we're pressing firmly into the forearms and into the hands. So we're lifting out of the shoulders. There's no sinking or dumping. The spine is long and straight, and then really draw the navel into the spine here, and then legs are strong and active. So even in the supportive pose and the knees down, you can still hold and have a very strong and supportive forearm plank. Couple more rounds of breath here. See if you can get lighter. See if you can send effort somewhere else in the body to get lighter out of the shoulders. Imagine being lifted up to the sky, like someone was grabbing you under the armpits and lifting you up. Release the knees to the earth if they aren't already. Allow the belly to roll onto the earth. Coming all the way down, release the forehead down. Let the forehead rest on the earth. Draw the hands down by the sides. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. And then inhale, reach the heart forward, cobra pose. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat, meeting in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach the hands to the sky, upward salute. Feel the stretch in the belly, the arms, the shoulders. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach the hands to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, like bend in the knees, coming into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank pose. Coming down to forearm plank again. And then you have a couple of options. Okay, again, you can do this from your knees. You can continue to hold your forearm plank. We're gonna do some knee to shoulder taps. So we'll take an inhale, draw the right knee to right shoulder or tricep. Exhale, step back. Inhale, left knee, left shoulder or tricep. Exhale, step back. Inhale, right knee, right shoulder. Exhale, step back. Inhale, left knee, left shoulder. Step back. 2 more times. Inhale, right knee, right shoulder. Step back. Inhale, left knee, left shoulder. Step back. Last round, you guys got this. Inhale, right knee, right shoulder. Step back. Inhale, left knee, left shoulder. Step back. Take another inhale. Exhale, release the knees to the earth if they aren't already. Allow the belly to connect with the earth. Forehead folds forward and releases onto the mat. Hands can come down to your ribs. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Cobra pose. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back, meeting a downward facing dog. Bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach the hands to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. All right, I think we're getting warm. Inhale, reach the hands to the sky. Exhale, slight bend in the knees, hinging forward at the hips, meeting in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank pose. Drop down onto those forearms, checking in with the alignment, lifting out of the shoulders. So I have some more options here for you guys. We can do some more of the shoulder taps. You can hold, or we're going to do these little dolphin walk up and dolphin walk back. So taking whichever version that you want, that feels good for you today. So just walking the feet forward, allowing the hips to reach up to the sky. You can keep a slight bend in the knees. You can hold your forearm plank. You can do those little shoulder taps. We'll say 2 more rounds of breath here for whichever option you've taken. Meeting in forearm plank, releasing the knees to the earth, the belly, and the forehead. So for this option, I'm going to have you stack palms in front of your face, and you're going to rest your forehead on your palms. And we're going to do, I don't know if this has a real name, probably does, but I like to think of these, I'm calling them mermaid legs. So I know that mermaids have tails, but I'm imagining if like I was a mermaid, I came to land and it was something magical, then I have these new feet, and I'm imagining that their legs would actually be really strong with the strength that they have in their tails. So you're going to press into the top of the left foot, point the toes of the right foot, allow your forehead to come down to your hands, and on your inhale, just reaching that right foot up and up behind you. So a really strong, straight, active leg, and using the lift in the glute. Your glutes are really fired up here and lifting. Exhale, release it, press the top of the right foot into the mat, point the left toes, inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, release that, and switch sides. So we'll keep doing that. Inhale, lifts, exhale, release, inhale, lift, exhale, release. Really find the engagement in the glute here, so in that, the glute and the back side of the leg to really get your lift here. So we'll be doing some more. We'll see these again later in our practice this morning. And maybe in your lifts, you start to lift the corners of your mouth, coming into that advanced yogi pose with a smile on your face and enjoying this playfulness this morning. Okay, we'll say one more on each side, right, and then left. Draw the hands down by the low ribs. Tuck the toes, shift the hips up and back, meeting in downward facing dog. Okay, we'll do one more round of these sun salutations. Bend the knees, gaze forward, and then exhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat, meeting in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reaching the hands to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Pause for just a moment here. Bring your attention to your shoulders. Maybe the top of the arms, the shoulder cap area. Maybe even touch your shoulders. Maybe even touching your shoulder blades, the scapula. I'm just touching really quick, bringing your attention to that part of the body, and giving it some love. Sending the breath to that part of the body. Hands come back to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, hinging forward at the hips, fist like bend in the knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank pose, releasing down onto your forearms. And then taking any of those other variations and options that you want. So if you want to hold your forearm plank, you stay here. Always have the option to release the knees to the earth. You can even do the knee taps with the knees down on the earth too. So that might be a nice accessible variation of this. We're doing your dolphin walks. We'll see. 2 more rounds of breath here. And exhale, release the knees to the earth, belly, chest, and then forehead. And then we're just gonna do a couple more rounds of those mermaid foot kicks. So take an inhale, lift the right foot to the sky. Exhale, release. Press into the top of the right foot. Inhale, lift the left foot straight and tall. Release, and just alternate and rotate. Just do one more round. And after you finish your left side, draw your hands down by your low ribs, tuck your toes, shift back, come into child's pose. Take a cleansing breath, releasing any air that's currently in your lungs. And then fill up the lungs all the way, deep inhale in. Open mouth, exhale, let that shit go. All right. So we should be feeling warmed up. When you're ready, you're gonna tuck your toes, press into your hands, lift your hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. We'll get to 3-legged dog in a minute. In fact, let's go ahead and inhale, reach that right heel to the sky, bend the knee, stack and open the hips, and then just checking in to see if the weight has distributed unevenly in the left and right, and see if you can even that out. And then drawing that right heel in toward the glute, and then just go ahead and start to make some of those hip circles with the knee. So just rotating the knee in a circle around the hip. And then switch directions. This doesn't have to look like anything. This is just you getting the joint open, getting the synovial fluid moving inside that joint. Inhale, reach your right heel to the sky. Exhale, shift forward to high plank pose, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, right heel to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Exhale, right heel to the sky. Inhale, inhale, exhale, right knee to left tricep. Inhale, right heel to the sky. Exhale, step all the way through, plant the foot between the hands, stay high on the ball of the back foot, rise up, high crescent pose. Checking in with our alignment here, plugging that right femur bone into the hip socket, left femur bone into the hip socket. Lifting that thigh, that back thigh to the sky. Back leg is strong and active. So that's our mermaid leg back there. Shoulders stacked over hips. Draw the navel into the spine. Reach the arms up and overhead. Breathe. Maybe sinking a little deeper into that right knee. And we're going to plant the left hand down on the inside of that right foot, and then rotate and open the torso up to the right, coming into this low lunge twist. Right arm can come up to the sky. It can also stay planted, hand can come to the hip. We're doing a lot on the shoulders, so maybe even just resting that hand onto the hip would be a good variation for you today. And of course, the option to reach the right arm to the sky. Keep that back leg strong and active. It's your mermaid leg. Breathing. And then plant the right foot down, right hand down in front of the right foot. Get light on the ball with the back foot. And we're going to spring up, meeting in standing splits. Hands pressing into the earth. Shoulders are sliding down the back. You can release the head, allow the crown of the head to be heavy. And then point the toes again, like we did in our mermaid leg. And really lift that left leg to the sky. Strong, straight left leg. Really reaching, using the power of the glute and the back side of the leg to lift that leg a little higher. Breathing here. Exhale, release the left foot down to meet the right, meeting in a forward fold. Let's pause here for a moment, finding an opposite arm, elbow, grasping opposite elbows, or maybe just allowing the hands to rest on the earth. Releasing the head, rounding the spine, torso resting on your belly, maybe finding a slight or even a deep bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank pose. Come down to your forearm plank. And then walking the feet in for dolphin pose. Pressing into those forearms, lifting out of the shoulders. Reaching the hips to the sky. And you can keep a bend. That might even just be a deep bend. This might be your dolphin pose. That's, again, honoring that we all have different shapes in our body. We all look different. So your pose will look different than anyone else's pose. Taking what you need today. Walking the feet back out. Release the knees to the earth. Sink the hips back. Coming into child's pose. Allow the forehead to drip down toward the earth. And let's have the arms come down by your side, so along the legs, and maybe cupping hands around the heels. Forehead comes down to the earth. Pause. Connecting with the breath. And then when you're ready, allow those the hands come back out in front of you, pressing into the palms, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left heel to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, checking in again to see if that weight has been redistributed between the left and the right, and then rotating that knee in a circle around that left hip. Again, doesn't have to look like anything. We're just waking up the joint. We're getting the fluids moving in there. And then switching directions. Inhale, reach the left heel to the sky. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Exhale, left foot, left heel to the sky. Left knee to nose. Reach the heel to the sky. Left knee, right tricep. Reach that left heel to the sky. Take an inhale. And then exhale, stepping through left foot between the hands, staying high on the ball of the back foot, and then rise up, coming into crescent pose. Checking in with our alignment. Left femur bone plugged into the hips. Right femur bone plugged into the hips. That right thigh lifted and strong to the sky. That's my mermaid leg back there. Drawing the navel into the spine, shoulders stacked over hips, arms come up overhead, or maybe hands come to heart center, giving those shoulders a rest. Breathe. Maybe sink a little deeper into that left leg. Maybe taking the corners of your mouth and lifting them up, finding that smile. On your next exhale, plant the right hand on the inside of the left foot. Then we're going to open the torso up into the left. Again, option for that left hand can come to the hip if you like, or you can reach up. Left arm to the sky, left hand to the sky, reaching active out through those fingertips. And that back leg is strong and active and lifted here. Again, that's our mermaid leg. I'm just making shit up in the world. We're having fun, being playful, like a dolphin. Plant the left hand out in front of the left foot, and you can take that right hand out to meet it. Start to bend into that back leg. We're going to meet in standing split. So lifting that right heel to the sky, and then pointing the toes. Again, thinking mermaid leg. Allow the head to be heavy here. So you're even looking back behind you. Maybe you can see your toes, and see if you can actually lift that leg a little bit higher. Engaging the back side of the body, the right glute, the back of the right leg, to lift it a little higher. Pointing those toes. Breathing. Are we having fun yet? Exhale, allow the right foot down to meet the left. Coming to forward fold. Just pausing here for a couple rounds of breath. Again, option to clasp opposite elbows. Allowing the hands to rest on the earth. And keeping a bend in the knees so that your torso can rest on your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank pose. Coming down onto our forearm plank. Again, just checking in with the alignment here, making sure shoulders are stacked over elbows and your hands and forearms are pressing into the earth. So a lot of that lift is coming from your hands and from your forearms. Draw the navel into the spine, and then walking the feet in to a degree that feels comfortable for you, really reaching and lifting those hips up to the sky. Keeping shoulders stacked over elbows. Finding a bend in the knee if you need a bend in the knee. Breathe. Smile like a dolphin. Dolphins smile. They have like cute little smiles. You smile like a dolphin. Walk the feet back out. Release the knees to the earth. Come into child's pose. Allow the arms to come down along your sides. Cupping your feet. Forehead reaches down toward the earth. When you're ready, bring the arms out long in front of you once again. Press the hands into the earth, tuck the toes, Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. From down dog, come onto your forearms, coming into forearm plank. And then we're gonna do those knee to tricep taps. So inhale, reach the right knee to the right tricep, left knee, left tricep. We'll do that 5 times on each side. 3 more to go. We got this. Lift out of the shoulders. Press into the forearms and the hands. Pause. And then from our forearm plank, we're gonna open up the torso to the left side of the mat, coming onto forearm side plank on the right-hand side. Left hand can come to the hip. It actually can come out in front of you if you need support or stabilization, but really lift that left hip up to the sky. Like if I had a string, it's pulling your hips up to the sky. And then other option though is to take the left hand and reach it up too. Breathe. Lift out of that shoulder. Avoid any dumping. Press into the forearm, into the hand. Yes. Plant the left hand down. Come up to high plank, planting the right hand, coming up. And then inhale, we're gonna step all the way through the right foot between the hands. Spin onto the knife edge part of the left foot. Toes are pointing toward the left side of the mat. Coming all the way up into warrior 2. We're just here for a breath. We're gonna inhale, straighten that right leg. Turn the toes to the left side of the mat. Bring the hands down to the hips. Turn the left toes to the back side of the mat. So we are at warrior 2 in the back side of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky, or to the side. And then cartwheel the hands to frame the right foot. Stepping back, high plank pose. Release the forearms down to the earth. And then on your inhale, we're gonna open up forearm plank on the left side. So left hand, left forearm planted into the mat, opening the torso up to the left side. Again, option for your hand, you can use that to stabilize and support you here. Really lifting out of that left shoulder. We don't want to dump or sink into that left shoulder. So that left shoulder is really strong and active. And then hand can be on the hip or it can be reaching up to the sky. I don't know, is this like a mermaid twist? Maybe we just made up another pose. It's like a little mermaid twist. I know there's a real mermaid pose, but I just like this dolphin and mermaid theme today. Plant the right hand down, come up, high plank pose, left hand plants down. And release the knees. This is how I have you guys do it. Release the knees to the earth. Oh no, we're gonna do, come back to your forearm plank, sorry. We're gonna do right knee to right tricep, left knee to left tricep. And we'll do that a total of 5 times. So we have 3 more rounds to go on each side. Lift out of those shoulders. Again, you can do this with the knees on the earth or knees lifted. One more time. All right, now release all the way down. Bring your hands down by your low ribs. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, push the hips up and back, meeting in downward facing dog. What the fuck was that, Lisa? I hope you guys are smiling with me. Inhale, reach the left heel to the sky. No, actually we'll release the left foot back down to the earth. Okay, hinge forward, coming into forearm plank. And we have to get to the other side of the mat, so we have to do all of this again. So right knee to right tricep, left knee to left tricep. I know, we just did these, but we're gonna do some more. 2 more on each side. You guys got this. Lifting out of those shoulders. Last one. Coming up into high plank pose. Coming back down to forearm plank. Inhale, open up, left side. Forearm plank on the left side. Reach that hip up to the sky. Hand can reach up,
come to the hip, or can stabilize you on the earth. Breathe here. We're almost done. Plant the right hand down, coming up high plank, and then stepping the left foot through, spinning onto the ball, or spinning onto the knife edge of the right foot, right toes pointed toward the left side of the mat, opening all the way up, warrior two. Staying here for a breath. On your exhale, straighten the left knee. Turn the right toes toward the right side of the mat, left toes toward the left side of the mat. I'm sorry, right toes toward the top of the mat. Warrior two, back at the front. Cartwheel the hands down, frame the right foot, step back, high plank pose. Come down onto your forearms. And then on your inhale, opening up, forearm plank on the right side. Lifting out of the shoulder, pressing into the forearm, the hand, lifting the left hip up to the sky. Left hand can be at the hip, supporting you on the earth, or reaching up. Yeah. Lift the corners of your mouth. Like a dolphin. Or maybe pucker your lips like a mermaid. Plant the left hand, coming up to high plank pose. Let's come back down, forearm plank, and do those knee to shoulder taps. Inhale to the right, left knee into the left tricep, left, right knee, right tricep, or shoulder. Almost there, you guys. This is it. This is the last little bit of work that you have to put in. Exhale, release it all down. Draw your hands down to the ribs, tuck the toes, shift the hips up and back, meeting in downward facing dog. Release the knees to the earth. Coming into child's pose, allow the torso to fold over the belly, forehead down to the earth, arms come down by the side, maybe cupping and holding onto the feet here. Bring your attention to your shoulders. Maybe taking a cleansing breath here, so just releasing any air that's currently in your lungs. And then take a deep inhale, fill up the lungs to the top. Open mouth, exhale, let it all go. I love it. All right, when you're ready, we will transition into a seat with the legs extended out long in front of you. Okay, and then taking hands, and we're gonna kind of tuck them right underneath our butt. So right into just the tips of the fingers into the underneath your butt, planting the hands, and then we're gonna start to roll down, coming onto forearms here. And then inhale, reaching the heart forward and lifting out of the shoulders. So we're not sinking into the shoulders here, we're lifting out of the shoulders here. So this should feel good. Should feel like a nice release. It is active here, but it should feel like a nice kind of counter stretch and release to all the shoulder work that we did today. We're gonna call this sunbathing mermaid pose today. I just made that up. You can release the head, allow the head to be heavy if that feels good in the neck. If you feel any crunchiness or any type of tension or tightness in the cervical spine or the neck, just come back up. Allow your gaze to be out in front of you. Maybe allowing the neck to continue to be an extension of the spine. Breathing here. Staying connected with the breath. Again, our practice is starting to slow down. So this is the time where the mind likes to wander. So using the breath to just keep us tethered here. And then very slowly If it feels good in your body, maybe walking the elbows out and just kind of rolling back down onto your spine. Pause, bringing the hands out, maybe letting the hands just kind of fall out to the side. Taking a cleansing breath. Just pausing here. Noticing, again, bringing your attention to your shoulders. How do the shoulders feel after that posture? So we were creating this constriction in the shoulder joint. And when we come out of that pose, it creates a really nice release of chemicals into the body. And it should feel really nice, hopefully. All right, we're gonna roll onto our bellies from here. And we're gonna get a little bit more into our shoulders. So reach the arms out to the side like a T. And planting the left hand down next to your chest. And then take an inhale. And then an exhale, you're gonna roll onto that right shoulder, coming onto your side and allowing the left foot to either come behind the right thigh and act as a kickstand, or it can even stay in the front. And then that left hand can also be used to prop you up, or you can even allow the left hand to kind of wrap behind the low back. If this feels uncomfortable in the shoulder, you have a couple of options, maybe allowing the hand to scoot down a little bit closer to your side. You can even release out and maybe just coming a little bit closer to the mat, like maybe leaning the torso a little closer to the mat. Or if you need more, you can reach that right hand, slide it on the earth, and have it come up a little bit higher. So just taking a variation that feels good. I'll give you a couple more rounds of breath here. Come and check on time. Yeah, looking good. And then if you took a variation with the left hand, maybe just allow the left hand to come back in front of the torso, and then very slowly, very gently, release that left leg, roll back onto the belly. And then before switching sides, just allow the left cheek to rest on the mat so your gaze comes back over out toward that right hand. Extend the left arm out to the side. And then using the right hand to gently guide your body, rolling onto the left side. And especially in the shoulders, our sides are very different. We tend to be tighter in one side than we are in the other. So maybe recognizing you don't need to go as far on one of the sides, or maybe one side needs more than the other. Breathing, sending that beautiful pranic energy, that breath energy into the shoulder. Sending that love into the shoulder, sending life into that shoulder. Very gently using that right hand to guide your torso back over onto the mat, releasing off of that left shoulder, and then again just allowing the right cheek to rest on the mat and gaze comes out and over that left hand. Just pausing. And then rolling over onto our backs one more time. We're going to just take an easy twist from here. So if you have a favorite twist that you'd like to take, you're welcome to do that.
We're just gonna do an easy twist. We didn't do a whole lot in the spine in terms of twists and side-to-side movements today, so we're gonna keep it gentle. Hands come out to the side like a T, and heel toe the feet up to the width of the mat. Take an inhale, and then on the exhale, allowing the knees to drop over to the left. And then if you'd like some additional assistance, maybe you would like to deepen that stretch, allowing the left ankle to cross over right thigh. Create some additional traction in the right side body and deepen that stretch and that sensation. It might feel good here too to reach the shoulders up and over, or the hands up and overhead. It might feel like a nice stretch in the shoulders, allowing gravity to pull the hands, the arms down. And if not, you can just keep them out by the sides. You took that crossing, release the left ankle. Inhale, the knees back to center, and on your exhale, releasing the knees over to the right. Oh, feels so good. And if you want to experiment with that additional effort and traction and sensation in the left, you can cross that right ankle over the left thigh, pulling you a little bit deeper into this twist. And again, if you'd like to experiment with the arm variation of bringing the hands up and overhead, that might feel nice. But just staying grounded in the left shoulder, so avoiding the left shoulder lifting up, so keeping that left shoulder, so that means planting the hand back down or even uncrossing the leg. A couple more rounds of breath here. On your next inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Let's draw the knees into the chest, wrap the forearms, the hands around the shins, draw the knees in. Allow the forehead to come in and reach toward the knees. Take a deep, big inhale in, fill up the lungs. Let's hold it at the top. Open mouth, exhale, let it all go. Release the legs down the length of the mat. Allow your hands to come down by your sides, palms facing up to the sky. Nestle the shoulder blades into the beneath you. Tuck the chin in toward the chest. Slowly start to close your eyes, coming into Shavasana. And in Shavasana, I invite you today to stay present with the bliss that you're experiencing in your body. Maybe it's not bliss, maybe it's some other sensation or other words. Maybe you feel like a mermaid today. Maybe you feel like a dolphin, but staying present with those feelings in your body. And the next time you hear my voice, I will invite you to come out of Shavasana. Enjoy. If you are ready for some movement, you are welcome to start finding something gentle, maybe wiggling fingers and toes, maybe deepening the breath. If you have the time, you are welcome to stay in Shavasana. Or if you would like to join me in a seat, and I will take you through our morning Metta loving kindness affirmations. You're welcome to take these or receive these laying down. If you're ready to come up, maybe rolling onto a side, meeting me in a seat whenever you're ready. And hands can come to heart center. If you would like to embrace the heart to receive these, you're welcome to do that. If you want to take one hand to the belly, and you can't see my belly here, but one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, to really accept the power and the love of these affirmations, or even hands to heart center is perfectly fine. So I will say, I have 3 affirmations for you. I will say each one and allow you an opportunity to either say it to yourself or to speak it out loud. And I'll say each one, I'll go through each of them 3 times. So you'll have an opportunity to say each one 3 times. So the first one is, I am pure love and beauty. I am a radiant and joyous person. I am cocooned in the loving energy of the universe. Okay, and then I'll repeat them all 2 more times. I am pure love and beauty. I am a radiant and joyous person. I am cocooned in the loving energy of the universe. All right, one last time. I am pure love and beauty. I am a radiant and joyous person. I am cocooned in the loving energy of the universe. It's such an honor for me to share this practice. Thank you so much for showing up and just giving me this honor to guide you, and showing up for yourselves and caring and doing something for you so that you can show up and give to others. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.